gravitational field due to spherical mass. So we are considering a sphere here, and now we should calculate gravitational field due to this sphere, inside the sphere, on the surface of the sphere, and also outside the sphere. We have basic relation for gravitational field. It is E is equal to capital G capital M divided by R square. This is equation number 1. If we are considering this spherical surface, and from this spherical surface, if you are taking a point P which is outside the sphere. Now consider this is a sphere of radius R, and this point is outside the sphere, and let me consider this point Q which is on the surface, and let me consider another point inside, and this is R inside the sphere. So I want to now calculate gravitational field due to these 3 points: inside the sphere, outside the sphere, and also on the surface of the sphere. So whenever we are calculating gravitational field outside the sphere, field outside the sphere at point P. So at point P, if you are calculating gravitational field, as you are considering the point outside the sphere, you can take that whole sphere as point mass. You are out from the sphere. Therefore, you can consider that sphere as a point mass. Like for example, from the surface of the earth, if you observe moon appears to be as very small point because you are out from the surface of the moon. You are observing from earth. From earth, if you see moon, it appears to be small point. Likewise, if you are outside the sphere, you can consider this total sphere as a point object. So I can now write gravitational field E is equal to capital G mass of the sphere divided by, from the center of the sphere, this can be situated at a distance. This distance I can take it as small r. From here to here, I'm taking it as small r. Small r is greater than capital R. Therefore, it is r square, where r is greater than capital R. So you can clearly understand that gravitational field is inversely proportional to square of the position where separation between the position where you are calculating gravitational field. That is field outside the sphere at point P. Likewise, when you are on the surface of the sphere, if you are calculating gravitational field on the surface of the sphere, on the surface of the sphere, the effective radius of the sphere is equal to capital R. Capital R is the radius of the earth. So therefore, on the surface of the earth, you can consider gravitational field E is equal to capital G capital M divided by R square, where small r is equal to capital R, where capital R is radius of the sphere. It is radius of the sphere. Now let us calculate gravitational field inside the sphere. Field inside the sphere. So if you are calculating gravitational field inside the sphere, you are at a distance r, like this r, whose radius is like I'll draw one figure here so that it will be very clear to understand. This is the small sphere where you are calculating gravitational field. Okay. As you are calculating gravitational field inside the surface of sphere, at what point you are calculating gravitational field, you will take that point as the reference and you will just mark a sphere with that radius, just like how I have done here. Taking that distance as the radius r, I am marking the sphere, and this sphere mass is m dash. So I want to find out gravitational field only because of that spherical mass, which is m dash, not for the total mass, because you are inside the sphere. So when we are calculating gravitational field, you will be writing here E inside is equal to capital G m dash divided by r. This r is r square. Let me take this as equation number 1. As we know, density of the sphere rho is equal to mass divided by volume. Volume is 4 by 3 pi r cube, which is equal to density of the smaller sphere m dash divided by 4 by 3 pi into this small r. I can write it as small r cube. 4 by 3 pi, 4 by 3 pi gets cancelled. Now this gives you m dash is equal to m divided by capital R cube into small r cube. So I can just replace wherever m dash is there, I can replace m dash with this. So I can write gravitational field inside the sphere is equal to capital G capital M divided by r square capital R square into r cube. This r and this gets cancelled. It is capital G capital M divided by r square into r. Capital G capital M divided by r square. This is a constant value. G is a gravitational constant. M is mass of the object. R is radius of the object. Radius of the whole sphere. This total parameter is constant. So I can write E inside is directly proportional to R. Therefore, when you are calculating gravitational field concerned with a spherical mass, you can take it as at the center of the sphere, small r is equal to 0. Therefore, field at the center will be equal to 0. Gravitational field at the center will be equal to 0. Right? And as you are coming out from the sphere, as this smaller value increases, when you are coming out, its a field value increases. Therefore, you will be getting a graph like this, where it is field and this is distance. Up to small r is equal to capital R, field value increases. Small r is equal to capital R, because in this region gravitational field is directly proportional to R. And beyond this position, if you are increasing, like if you are still coming out from the radius of the sphere, as the gravitational field decreases from this equation, we have calculated it. Therefore, you can just write E is inversely proportional to R. So gradually gravitational field value decreases, and at infinite distance it tends to become 0. Therefore, here in this, where smaller value is greater than capital R, you can write it as E is inversely proportional to R square, where inside the sphere E is directly proportional to R. This is about gravitational field due to spherical mass distribution. So whenever mass is distributed in the form of a sphere, you can write down gravitational field outside the sphere, on the surface of the sphere, inside the sphere. At the center of the sphere, gravitational field is 0. And from the center, as you are coming out from this center region, if you are moving out, field value goes on increases. Field value increases up to this radius r, and beyond this radius r, E is inversely proportional to r square. That is the reason why, as E inversely proportional to r square, field goes on decreases outside the sphere. So from the derivations which we have learned, you can finally write down these conclusions. Field at the center is 0. Field inside the sphere, E is directly proportional to r. This total parameter is constant. And field on the surface is gm by r square, where capital R is equal to radius. And E outside the sphere, it is gm by r square. R is effective position. Distance from center. Capital R is radius. And this radius value is constant, remember. But smaller value can change. It depends upon the position where you are calculating gravitational field. So far we have learned gravitational force, capital F, and we have learned gravitational field, capital E. Now we are going to learn about gravitational potential. Gravitational potential, that is V. Gravitational potential is denoted with V. So when we are dealing with gravitational potential, first let me define you what is mean by a gravitational potential. Now this is mass of the earth. Here it is earth. And earth radius is capital R. This is radius of the earth. It is capital R. And you are calculating gravitational potential at this position, which is at a distance small r from the center of the earth. From the center of the earth, you are calculating gravitational potential, whose value it is small r, that is from center of the earth. So after like this is a point where you want to calculate gravitational potential. Now let me take a unit mass. This is unit mass, and this unit mass is placed somewhere at infinite position. It is somewhere at infinity position from the surface of the earth. Now in order to bring this mass towards this point P, this is unit mass, I want to now bring this unit mass from this point P to position P, from this position to point P, or vice versa. From infinite position to point P, you can bring that mass. From point P position, you can bring mass to infinite position. Right? So as if you are leaving this mass here, as earth mass is greater, there will be a gravitational force acting towards the center of the earth. Therefore, this smaller m mass will be pulled towards the center of the earth. So here, in order to move that mass from infinite position towards the center, gravitational force is doing some work. Okay. Now I want to calculate that work done by gravitational force. Work done by gravitational force. Work done by gravitational force is equal to F dot S. S is displacement. But what is happening to the separation between point mass and earth mass? like separation between them is not constant, as the smaller mass is coming from infinity to towards the center of the earth. R is variable. Therefore, here, as it is variable, you need to deal with differentiation and integration. So I will just write it as dw is equal to f dot ds. Because we are dealing with radius r, I'll write it as f dot dr. Okay, f is towards the center of the earth, and the mass which is coming is also towards the center of the earth. Force and displacement both are in the same direction. Suppose if force is in the outward direction and displacement is towards the center of the earth, then you will be angle theta will be equal to 180. Then in such case you will get it negative. Now I am just calculating gravitational force, work done by gravitational force. So in order to calculate net work done, I'll just integrate this dw, which is f dot dr. Now where is this dr? From where you are starting the starting position of the unit mass is at infinity, and finally it is brought to some position r. Therefore it is brought from infinite position to smaller. Now I can just write integration. What is gravitational force equation? Capital G, capital M, small m divided by r square into dr. Limits are from infinity to smaller. So work done W can be written as capital G, capital M, small m divided by GMM, and it is integration 1 by r square dr. 1 by r square can be written as r power minus 2. So it can be written as r power minus 2 plus 1 divided by minus 2 plus 1. Limits are from infinity to position r. Okay. Now I can substitute those limits. So I can write work done W is equal to capital G, capital M, small m divided by minus 1 into 1 by r. Limits are from infinity to r. This is equal to capital G, capital M, small m divided by minus 1 into 1 by small r minus 1 by infinity. This is equal to minus capital G, capital M, small m divided by r. This is equation for gravitational potential energy. That is, work done is nothing but energy. Here gravitational force is doing work in bringing a mass from infinite position to particular point, and work done by that gravitational force is equal to change in potential energy of this mass according to work energy theorem. And that change in potential energy is minus capital G m divided by r. This is equation for gravitational potential energy. Now gravitational potential is defined as the gravitational potential energy per unit mass. So gravitational potential is equal to gravitational potential energy per unit mass. That means how much amount of work is done on the unit mass in order to bring it from infinite position to particular point is said to be gravitational potential. That is written as minus capital G, capital M, small m divided by r into this mass is m and m gets cancelled. So I can write gravitational potential V is equal to minus capital G, capital M divided by r. This is equation for gravitational potential. And this is equation for gravitational potential energy. The difference between gravitational potential and gravitational potential energy is only that numerator mass small m. If both the masses are involved, then it is called gravitational potential energy. If only single mass is involved, then it is said to be gravitational potential. Gravitational potential is calculated per unit mass. gravitational potential energy is calculated for both the masses. Gravitational potential energy is denoted with U. It is work done in bringing a test mass or a unit mass from infinite position to particular point, and its expression is minus capital G capital M small m divided by R. In the denominator it is only R, not R square. For force and field, in the denominator it is R square, but for potential it is not R square, it should be only R. And unit of gravitational potential energy is Joule. Unit of gravitational potential energy is Joule. And the other definition which we have learned from gravitational potential energy is gravitational potential. And this gravitational potential is denoted with V. It is gravitational potential energy divided by mass m, or you can write it as U divided by m. So V will be equal to minus capital G capital M divided by R. This is equation for gravitational potential, and unit of gravitational potential is Joule per kg. It is Joule per kg. Work done per unit mass is said to be gravitational potential energy. These are the two definitions which we have learned from this slide. One is gravitational potential, other one is gravitational potential energy. Yeah. Students, we have 3 point masses which are located at vertex of the triangle, and it is right angle triangle of side A. Now, masses which are placed at position A, B, C are M, 2M and 3M. I want to now calculate gravitational potential and gravitational potential energy due to point masses. So whenever we are calculating gravitational potential energy, it is for the whole system. So first let me write down equations for gravitational potential and gravitational potential energy. So gravitational potential V is equal to minus capital G capital M divided by R. Remember, in the numerator there is only one mass, M, capital M, and gravitational potential energy is denoted with U minus capital G capital M small m divided by R. This is for the system, and this is for mass capital M. This is due to this mass capital M. So when we are calculating gravitational potential energy, two masses you need to involve. So first let me calculate gravitational potential energy here. Gravitational potential energy, total gravitational potential energy will be potential energy between A and B, that is UAB. Potential energy between B and C, that is UBC. Potential energy between A and C, that is UAC. Overall, if you add them, you will be getting net potential energy. So U will be equal to UAB plus UBC plus UAC. So gravitational potential energy is minus UAB is capital G M into 2M divided by separation is A, and minus UBC is capital G 2M and 3M divided by separation is A minus capital G mass is 3M into M divided by A. This is equal to minus capital G M square divided by A. I can take it out because it is in all the terms. So remember, it is only numerator 2 left over, and this is plus 3 to 6, and next it is plus 3. This is equal to minus 6 plus 3 9 10 11 11 capital G M square divided by A. This is equation for gravitational potential energy, and in the numerator both masses are involved. Remember that. That is gravitational potential energy. It is related with force. Next, we should find out gravitational field. Gravitational potential you need to find out, and that gravitational potential is concerned with one particular point. On any mass you can find out gravitational potential. Suppose I want to find out gravitational potential on mass which is placed at position B, then it will be gravitational potential due to this mass A and due to this mass C. So I can write potential at position B will be equal to potential due to mass at A plus potential due to mass at C. Gravitational potential at A will be equal to potential at B plus potential at C. Gravitational potential at C will be equal to potential at A plus potential at B. So it is concerned with only one single point. You can find out gravitational potential on the mass which is placed at position B or position A or position C. So if you calculate this potential at B, potential due to A, I can write it as minus capital G M divided by A and minus capital G 3M divided by A, which is minus capital G M divided by A. If I take it common, it is 3 plus 1 become 4. Likewise, gravitational potential on A will be equal to potential due to B and potential due to C. It is minus capital G M divided by A, and at B mass is 2M, so it is 2 plus at C mass is 3M, it is 3. This is 5 minus capital G M divided by A. Likewise, potential at position C will be equal to potential due to A and potential due to B. So it is minus capital G M divided by A into, at A mass is 1 M and at B mass is 2M. So this is minus 3 capital G M divided by A. See, look the difference between potential and potential energy. Potential energy for the whole system, it is constant. That will be minus 11 G M square by A. It's not concerned with one point, it is concerned with masses. But potential, it is at a different positions, the potential of those masses would undergo change. If you are calculating gravitational potential at B, you will get one different value. Gravitational potential at C, you will get one different value. Gravitational potential at A, you will get one different value. And remember that potential and potential energy are scalar. They are scalar. Gravitational potential and potential energy, they are scalar quantities. That is the reason why directly we are adding them. So if, unlike force and field, if it is force and field, we have took vector notations and we have resolved those vectors and we have added those vectors, because force is a vector, field is a vector. But potential and potential energy, they are not vectors, they are scalars. So directly you can add them. Similar model like what we have calculated in the previous problem, in the same way, here you have a square, and at the vertex of the square you are placed 4 different masses. You need to now calculate gravitational potential and gravitational potential energy due to a point masses. Now we will calculate gravitational potential at this position at the center. C is equal to how much, and you will calculate gravitational potential energy. So when we are calculating gravitational potential energy is gravitational potential energy between these masses. Let me name it as A, B, C and D. It is potential energy due to AB mass, potential energy due to BC, potential energy due to CD, potential energy due to DA. Calculating gravitational potential energy is very simple. It's directly you will add them because they are scalar quantities. So U will be equal to minus capital G m 2m divided by separation is A minus capital G 2m 3m divided by A minus capital G 3m 4m divided by A minus capital G 4m m divided by A. This is minus capital G m square divided by A. As a whole I can take it common. Remained is 2 plus 6 plus 12 plus 4. This is equal to 24 minus 24 capital G m square divided by A joule. This is gravitational potential energy. Now in order to calculate gravitational potential at point C, gravitational potential at C will be equal to gravitational potential due to A, gravitational potential due to B, gravitational potential due to C, gravitational potential due to D. Because we are calculating potential at the center. So at the center, there will be potential due to this A. There will be potential due to this B. There will be potential due to C. There will be potential due to this D. Because of all the four masses, there will be potential at point C. That's the reason why I am adding that. It is minus capital G. A mass, it is m divided by separation from here to here, it will be A divided by root 2. Am I right? Because this is root 2A divided by 2, it is A by root 2. It is A by root 2 minus capital G, mass at B is 2m divided by A by root 2 minus capital G 3m divided by A by root 2 minus capital G 4m A by root 2. I can just bring it out. Minus root 2 capital G m divided by A. I can write it outside. This will be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. It is 4 plus 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. Minus 10 root 2 capital G m divided by A. This is joule per kg. This is value of gravitational potential at center. Suppose if you want to find out gravitational potential at this D, that will be due to A, due to B, due to C. If you want to find out gravitational potential at A, it will be due to this B. I'm sorry. It will be due to this if you want to find out gravitational potential at A, that will be due to this B, it will be due to this C, it will be due to this D. Likewise, just like how we have done in the previous problem. But here we are asked to find potential at center. At the center, it will be because of all those four masses. Clear? This is the way you should calculate gravitational potential and gravitational potential energy.